You too, and a very good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome once again to the weekly Sunday Pūjā in Unison and Dhamma sharing online, an initiative of the Buddhist Council of Malaysia and is hosted by MSBS and DBV. It's certainly good to see all of you once again this week on this online platform. Today is the 8th of October, 2023. To begin today's puja, I shall now invite Sister May to read out the offerings in English. Over to you, Sister May.
Thank you very much, Brother Terence. Sukhi Hantu and good morning to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to our weekly online Sunday Pūjā and Dhamma sharing. Before we begin the puja chanting, I shall read out the significance of the virtual offerings that we shall make with full respect to our blessed teacher, the Buddha. Now let us compose our minds and reflect on the words spoken. Offering of lights. May we offer these candles, burning brightly, out of deep respect and veneration to our enlightened Master, the Buddha. May these lights symbolically guide us to the light of the Dhamma, which dispels the darkness of greed with the light of generosity, the gloominess of hatred with the light of love, and the darkness of ignorance with the light of wisdom, through the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Offering of joss sticks and incense. May we offer these joss sticks and incense out of deep respect and veneration to our blessed Master, the Buddha. May the fragrance of these joss sticks and incense be pleasing unto the gods and devas. May our good deeds be like the fragrance of these joss sticks, cultivating compassion, patience, tolerance, understanding, and love towards all living beings. Offering of water. May we offer this water to symbolize our aspiration to cultivate the virtues of calmness, clarity, and purity. Let it remind us to diligently cleanse ourselves of our spiritual defilements and delusion through the cultivation of generosity, compassion, and wisdom. Offering of flowers. These flowers too, we offer out of deep respect and gratitude to our compassionate Master, the Buddha. These flowers, sweet, beautiful, and choice, are clustered at the feet of our noble Master. Beautiful as they are now, they will soon, with passing of time, wilt and fade and be cast away. Reflecting thus on this very nature of unsatisfactoriness, impermanence, and soullessness, let us tread the path shown by the Buddha for the eradication of sufferings here and now. Now let us commence the Sunday Pūjā chanting by giving our highest salutations to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha by saying sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Titiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Titiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Titiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami. Tatyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami. Tatyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Kame Sumichachara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Usawada Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Surameraya Majjapamadatthana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijjasarana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhammasarati Satta Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipassiko Opanaiko Paccatang Vetittabbo Vinyuhiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujjupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Cattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Puggala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakkineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punya Ketang Lokasati
Vandami Citiyang Sabbang Sabbathane Supatititang Saririkada Mahaboding Buddha Rupang Sakalang Sada Yasamule Nisinnova Sabbari Vijayang Aka Patto Sabanyutang Sattha Vande Tang Bodhipadapang Ime Ete Mahabodhi Lokanatena Pujita Ahang Pite Namasami Bodhi Raja Namatute Ganna Sarappaditena Dipena Tamadang Sina 𝓤𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪 Sang Buddhang Pujayami Tamonudang Ganda Sambara Yuttena Dupena Hang Sugandina Pujaye Pujaniyang Tang Puja Bhajana Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Paniyang Parikappitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Bojanang Parikappitang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Adivase Tuno Bante Gilana Paccaya Imang Anukampang Upadaya Patigan Hatu Muttamang Vannaganda Guno Petang เอทังกุสุมสันตติงปูจยามิมุนิงดัสสะสิริพาเดสารุรุเฮปูเจมิบุตดังกุสุมเมนะเนนะปุญเยนะเมเทนะจะโหตุมกขังปุพพังมิลายาติยัตถาอิดังเมขยโยทัตถายาติวินาสบาวังอัคคาสัทธาจะบุมมัตถาเดวานากามหิตติกาปุญญันทังอนุโมดิตวาชิรัมรักหันตุโลกสาสนังอาคาสัทธาจะบุมมัตถาเดวานากามหิตติกาปุญญันทังอนุโมดิตวาชิรัมรักหันตุเดสนังอาคาสัทธาจะบุมมัตถาเดวานากามหิตติกาปุญญันทังอนุโมดิตวาชิรัมรักขันตุมัมปรันติเดโววัสสตุคาเลนะสัสสะสัมปัตติเหตุเจปิโตภวตุโลโกเจราเจภวตุดัมมิโกอิดังเมยาตินังโหตุสุขิทาหอนตุญาตโยอิดังเมยาตินังโหตุสุขิทาหอนตุญาตโยอิดังเมยาตินังโหตุสุขิทาหอนตุญาตโยอิมินาปุญญคัมเมนะมาเมบาลสัมมากัมโมสัตตัมสัมมากัมโมโหตุยาวนิพพานปัตติยา
You're muted, Sister May.
No, there's another slide. Kayena.
Can you do without a slide?
Okay, can. Kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame bante puripanya tathagata kayena vaca cittena pamadena maya katang acayam kamame dhamma sandittika akhalika kayena vacca cittena pamadena maya katang acayang kamame sangga supatipanna anuttara
Karaniya matta kusalena yantang santang padang abisamecha sako uju ca suju ca suwaco cassa mudu anatimani santo sako ca subaro ca appakitco ca salahuka utti santindriyo ca nipako ca appagabbo kulesu ananugiddo naca kuddang samacare kinci yena vinyu hare upawadeyung sukino wa kemino hontu sabbe satta bawantu sukitatta yeke cipana bhutati tasawa tawarawa anawasesa digawaye mahantawa Cima rasa nukatula ditta waye va ditta ye 𝓤𝓷𝓷𝓫 basanti avidure Bhuta wa sambhave siva sappe satta bhavantu sukhitatta naparo parang nikubeta nati manyeta kattachinang kanchi biaro sana patiga sanya nanya manya sedukha Cheya mata yata niyang puttang ayusa eka putta manurakke evam pisa babhutesu manasang bhavaye aparimanang mettang ca sabbalokasmin manasang bhavaye aparimanang uddang ado cetiriyan ca asang badang averang asapattang tittang carang nisinova sayanova yavatassa vigadamiddo etang sating aditeya brahmametang viharang idamahu diptin ca anupagamma silava dassanena sampanno kame suvineya gedang nahi jatu Paseyang punareti etena satcha vajjena sotite hotu sappada etena satcha vajjena sotite hotu sappada etena satcha vajjena sotite hotu sappada. By this declaration of the truth, may you be safe at all times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, 𝓤𝓾𝓷𝓪𝓂 and 𝓤𝓷𝓲𝓼 for today's Sunday Pūjā. Now back with us this week is Brother Leng Huat to share on the I Want to Be Happy series, Part 3, We Can Succeed. Over to you, Brother Leng Huat.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Brother Terence. Thank you. Okay, so for the first part, the first week we spoke about happiness. We spoke about the 4 kinds of happiness. Again, we will just go through, we review what we have actually touched on. We said there's arti sukha, that means we work very hard, and through righteous means, that is right livelihood, we have accumulated little bit of savings and we can live happily when we retire. Remember? And then we say that we may be able to retire lah. In short, have a long life and enjoy whatever little we have saved. And then we must learn to use this money, to use it carefully so that we use it on family and friends and do some meritorious deeds like dana and all those things. They will continue with our happiness. We'll touch again this week on that. And the happiness of debtlessness. Now we don't owe people anything anymore, neither do we owe the government. So we're not afraid of people knocking on our doors at night. Now, whether it's somebody is coming to harass you or somebody coming to catch you, so we have no such fear. We are debtless. We are not afraid of anything. So we retire very peacefully. And then we also don't want to be blamed. When we retire, we want to have more friends, like people say, got one enemy, you see him everywhere. So we want to have more friends, so that we are not blamed for anything. So that these are the 4 kinds of happiness that the Buddha was talking about for lay people. Yeah. And the happiness of blamelessness, of course, is the biggest. The Buddha says that's the best, I guess. So now we also spoke about the parable of the scratching dog, where the dog is itchy, it goes to one corner of your house, it scratches itself. Not satisfied with that corner, it goes to the next corner and still scratches itself, and moves on to another corner of the house and still scratches itself, not realizing that the scratching, the itchiness comes from his own body, not from the corner of the house. Yeah. So we talk about happiness coming from within, as an example, and we also said that nothing comes from nothing. Nothing ever could. So somewhere in our youth or childhood, we must have done something good. And then I quoted that from a beautiful song from The Sound of Music. Yeah. Okay, so we say that nothing happens by chance. Yeah. We are happy because we work very hard. We saved whatever little merits we have, and we enjoy that little part of our life. And then we spoke about we cannot be happy alone. The society around us must be happy. So that is what the Buddha propagated. You see, you cannot be happy alone. Don't think of happiness alone means inside you means it's alone. No. You make community happy. And this is through the 4 Brahma Viharas. We say, if you can radiate your loving kindness, apply loving kindness everywhere. Yeah. So we have got great loving kindness, and we show compassion to things, and then we share sympathetic joy with people, and then we also are equanimous of that achievement. Yeah. So remember, we say that when the society is happy, for instance, we give an example. When you go to a wake service, of course, we have to be more solemn, we have to be more composed. Yeah, so the atmosphere was like that. So that's why we say, see, so the society is like that. We also behave like that. But when we go to a birthday party, a wedding party, when it's a joyous occasion, we also be very happy. We go there and we will thank and congratulate our host. Oh, I'm happy for you. You got new son-in-law, daughter-in-law. Oh, happy birthday. May you continue, and may you continue have many, many more birthdays to come, things like that. So this is what is a communal living. So when the community is happy, we are happy. When the community is sad, we also can become sad. So that's why we have to make sure that the community around us is happy by applying the 4 Brahma Viharas. We call it Metta for loving kindness. We call it Karuna for compassion. We call it Mudita for altruistic joy, and Upekkha for equanimity. We must also remain equanimous. Whatever we have achieved, we are always equanimous. So these are the 4 Brahma Viharas that we try to use. We try to use so that it becomes useful, and and the community around us will become happy. Okay, then when we talk about the 4 Brahma Viharas, this one we have not touched actually. When you go to the Thai temple, sometimes you will see the statue, the 4-faced Buddha, popularly known as a 4-faced Buddha. Remember? And what does that tell you? People say that it's a 4 Brahma Viharas, again we say here, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha, yes. But what does it remind you? What does this quality reminds you? Don't forget, these are the qualities of our mother. Correct? Don't forget, our mother's quality are the 4 Brahma Viharas that you see, the 4-faced statue of the Buddha. We must always reflect, when we see things, we don't want to be a pagan, just believing in whatever statues we see and we pray. No, we reflect the meaning of these statues. So it becomes meaningful to us, not because it is paganist behavior things. No. When we see this 4-faced Buddha, we reflect on the 4 Brahma Viharas of Metta, loving kindness, unlimited loving kindness, unlimited compassion, correct? Unlimited altruistic joy, and then still remaining equanimous after all this achievement. What are these qualities? Where do we get these qualities? This is all the qualities of our mother, correct? So we always should be reminded when we see the 4-faced Buddha statue, we must put our palms together and bow to the statue, reflecting that that is the image of our mother. That 4 qualities that only she can share with us. as she has shown us. So we bow and say that we remember our mothers. We are grateful to our mothers. So that is how we put meaning into all our Buddhist practice. And this kind of small reflection, makes you very happy. This kind of reflection that we overlook, sometimes we overlook at this sort of thing. So this morning we hope that we can talk about one or two little subjects on this. One is, of course, you don't forget the 4 Brahma Viharas, reflecting your mother's quality, remember her with gratitude, and I'm sure you'll be very happy. And we will emulate her kind of character. The ladies will emulate the character, and the sons also can emulate that character and be a father equally as good as the mother. Of course, the fathers are equally as good. We always praise the mother first. So it's also the quality of your father, don't forget. Okay? That is to consolidate myself a bit. I cannot be the mother. Okay. So now today we will continue to talk about this. This morning we shall discuss on how to put this kind of teachings, into practice. Why do we find it difficult? Why do we find it difficult to put these things to practice? And then there is a very short way of course, it's a very short talk that we're sharing that I'm giving with you. We will touch on 1 or 2 subjects and hope that this is the way that we can actually practice. First, before we practice, we are all Buddhist. Remember, to be a Buddhist means we must have deep confidence. We must have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. We have faith, or we believe in this truly wonderful potential innate consciousness in us. Correct? The potential to realize, to be awakened to a purified state and beyond. Yeah. And we know that we have this power. The Buddha says we have this power. He was a normal human being like us, and he has achieved this, and the Buddha says we too can achieve this. Okay. And then we say that this is what is this state about? This state is a state beyond the power of greed, hatred, and delusion. Okay. So we are always living, we are always living upon, we are always actually our life is deeply rooted in this greed, this hatred, and this delusion, because this has been going on for multiple lives of ours. It has gone on for many lives. Not easy for us to really say, I can live without greed, hatred, delusion. If you can do it, you are enlightened. Enlightenment means we are living beyond greed, beyond hatred, and beyond delusion. What is this greed, hatred, delusion? Maybe we will touch on it later. So the Buddhist method of training, we all know how we put the meaning. The training is in knowing. Correct? We say that the Buddhists must know. Pariyati, patipati, pativeda. That means we must know and put to practice this knowledge. More importantly, remember, knowing is not good enough. Put this to practice. Then eventually you will realize. Correct? Then the Buddha says that this is called pariyati, patipati, pativeda. It is this knowledge of knowing, realization, putting to practice and realization. Remember, we have to do that. If you can do that, then I think we can succeed in everything that we want to do. So example, understanding meditation is what? So we must always think of what we are doing, not merely just doing things like that. So for example, the meditation that we talk about, we must remember that we wish to adopt to a very calm mind and to cultivate the 3 great pillars of Buddhism, correct? We call it the pillars of Buddhism. Through these 3 levels of gradual learning, correct? What do we want to do? We say that we want our mind to be calm. When your mind is calm, you can see clearly. You can see clearly the 3 great pillars of Buddhism, where the Buddha says that you must practice through these 3 levels of gradual learning. And what is this gradual learning that we talk about? How to be, so we talk about generosity first. The Buddha says is generosity, dana, which helps one to overcome greed. To overcome greed, we must practice generosity. The Buddha says, so when we practice generosity, we find that we are less attached to this type of material clinging. We are detaching ourselves from this material clinging. So we do dana so that can help to overcome greed. And this greed, like we say, is the cause, is the fuel for hatred. Remember, the greed is a fuel for hatred. When you don't get what you want, you hate that situation, you hate that person. Correct? So greed is the fuel for this hatred. So we can remove greed and hatred. Correct? And also through morality. Morality, also the Buddha says the next step of practicing is morality. Don't forget that sila, which helps to remove hatred also. Because when you have practiced your generosity, then you go to your sila, your morality. And these will remove your hatred because you will crave less. When you live a morally good life, you will crave less. You don't steal, you don't cheat, you don't tell lies. You don't crave for people's things, correct? So that will remove your craving, and a craving, again, we said, is the fuel for hatred. You remove the cause for hatred, then you overcome hatred. And of course, last but not least, help to remove the ignorance, ignorance from our mind, and by learning the Dhamma and getting rid of the wrong views. So we learn meditation or bhavana. So we say that the Buddha's teaching is of gradual learning, is dana, sila, bhavana. So when we remove, then bhavana will help us to remove ignorance from our mind, or wrong views from our mind, wrong views that these external things would make us happy. So when you contemplate on these three, this gradual learning, you realize that actually the clinging or the material does not give us permanent happiness. Yeah? Okay. Now, I said earlier that sometimes we overlook at small things that can help us in life. We overlook at small things. Remember, we always say these small little things. So we have to be mindful. In short, we say we have to be mindful. This cultivation is about being mindful. What is it all about? I say these little things, that remember, we always complain that it is very warm. I'm sure many of us have complained, oh, the weather is getting bad. Oh, the weather is warm, right? And we know sometimes, but we don't to practice, we don't realize. We know it is global warming, correct? Global warming is not a new word I'm introducing to you. You have heard about this many, many, many times. I have heard about it many, many, many times. But did we put this to practice to help to overcome this global warming? And that's what the Buddha means by knowledge. Knowledge about global warming. Oh, you know, oh, it's very hot, it's global warming. We all know. Everybody knows that word global warming. But what have we done? Can we contribute? That is putting that knowledge to practice. How to overcome this global warming we talk about, correct? You see today there's flooding everywhere. In strange places, they are flooding now, you know. People, even Egypt floods, everywhere is flooding. And then you get earthquake. Morocco earthquake. So, see, places that we don't anticipate are happening. And we all say it's global warming, you know. Correct? Not a new term. We all know. Okay, so we see there's flooding everywhere, there's drought, and also don't forget now there's massive wildfires going on. Now forests are being burned. Why? Again, we say global warming, brother, global warming, we all know. The hurricanes, the heat waves are killing thousands of people. We are all aware. But what have we done? Right? The alarm is ringing for us, you know, to know, hey, my friend, be careful, So there are signals everywhere in the world to remind every living being to be careful. There's global warming. But How much interest did we put to these kind of things? That is important because we said that putting it to practice, pariyati. And how do we put to practice through the teachings of the Buddha? Okay, number one, socially, they will tell you, don't drive your cars, try to cycle to work, And then we say, don't always take the aeroplane now, flying everywhere around the world. When you can go for holidays with your car, drive careful, not drive with 4 members of a family in the car, and then you can go for holidays nearby. Rather than all burning fuel. We're all contributing to the carbon content of the atmosphere, isn't it? So, but have we thought about all these things? These have been propagated by people all the time, cycle to work. You go to Europe, they say cycle to work. Many people are cycling to work in Europe anyway. In Malaysia, I find it quite difficult anyway, isn't it? Cycle to Kuala Lumpur for work, isn't it? With our weather conditions, we have excuses. We always say my country is difficult. The other conditions lah, macam-macam lah, we say, because we are not serious about practicing them. Correct? So we say macam-macam lah. So we cannot cycle to work, and then we still want to fly overseas. My children are overseas, our neighbors go overseas, we also must go. Things like that is happening because we are not serious. These have been propagated by social activists. Social activists. But from the Buddha's point of view, let us also talk about from the Buddhist point of view. Of course, there are great ways the Buddha has taught you about this, but we just pick a simple one. A simple one. Our 5th precepts, let's say. Correct? 5th precept says, Sura meraya majja pamadatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. We always say, don't drink, brother. Can drink not. Can drink a bit, cannot drink a bit. Can we not also interpret it in such a way that we become aware? Aware of what? Aware of unmindful consumption. We are also overeating, correct? We are also overeating, which is no good for our health. Correct? We must not be an extremist. The Buddha says his teaching is all about majjhima patipada, the middle way. So don't overeat. Correct? If we don't overeat too much, I think we can save a lot of things also, isn't it? And there's a lot of wastage in our life. Don't forget, many of us can afford, and then when we go to the restaurant, we over order. Almost 1.5 dishes will be thrown away. Correct? So can we not practice Sura Meraya as mindful consumption of the food? Be more mindful when we order your food. Be more mindful when you order your drinks. Let's not waste too much of food. And this is also about mental cultivation, correct or not? It carries a more beautiful social order. So we all practice this way. We say that we do it from religious point of view also. Yes, social point of view, yes, of course. But many of us cannot do that. We want to be inspired by something else more eternal, maybe. So let's be inspired by the Buddha's teaching, by the Dhamma, that says that we must be mindful in our eating. So when we recite Sura Meraya Majja Pamadatana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami, let's not argue about whether can drink or cannot drink, or socially can drink or not. It says you cannot drink. I've got a lot of these arguments. Oh, Buddhists cannot drink. Then Buddhists die of thirst lah. So okay, macam-macam you hear lah, but can we not also make it more peaceful? We say that this is about mindful consumption also. Thereby we are actually helping to save the environment also. So that is our little contribution we can do daily. This is something we can do daily. Not affecting or stretching ourselves. No, we are not stretching ourselves. We are just asking you to be as comfortable as possible and save the environment through mindful eating. Correct? It's a very simple start that many of us can practice, and many of us can succeed. That's why we say we can succeed. Correct? That's why I chose the third part to be we can succeed, because we practice it in a very simple way, not stretching yourself. The Buddha is always following the Majjhima Patipada, the middle way. The Buddha doesn't stretch us to the maximum. Neither does the Buddha compress us to the minimum. just the middle way, be as comfortable as you want for your practice and contribute that to the environment and contribute that to the happiness of the many. So that others won't suffer from earthquake, others won't have drought, so that's how we do. If all of us put in this little effort, there is a great contribution. And that is what Pariyati, Patipati, Pativeda is all about. Putting that little knowledge we have into action. Then we come to realize, oh yes, how important it is. So the Buddha is a very, very, he's an enlightened person, but he's a very wise person, very tactful person. So he tactfully tells us what to do, what not to do, without stretching ourselves. Okay? And then sometimes also, so we touch on simple things in life, sometimes also we cannot do these things. We just simply, like I said, when we say don't do this, you say, oh, cannot, brother. Cycling to work to Kuala Lumpur is not possible, Of course, if you are the only one cycling in the street, then it's not possible, You wear your jacket or what, you'll be sweating, when you come to office. That's a common excuse people give, So that is what the Buddha says, that this is all due to sensual desires. Correct. We care so much for our sensual desire. That is another downfall of ours. Correct. We care so much, I sweat too much afterwards. Cannot achieve. Because why? You sweat too much. Correct. Oh, cannot why? Because I ate too much. Correct. Cannot why? Because I'm hungry. Correct. Cannot why? Because it's too hot. Correct. Cannot why? Because it will rain along the way. Other countries don't seem to be raining except Malaysia rain. Malaysia is hot, Malaysia rains, Malaysia has everything. Other countries, you go to Holland, people cycle to work. Don't they rain? Do they not rain in Holland? I wonder. Is the sun not hot in Holland? I wonder also, So things like that. So we have great excuses in life. Always having this excuse, I cannot, brother, because of this, because of that, because of this, because of that. And that is what the Buddha says, because of our sensual desire. Correct? So we care too much for our sensual desire, which is quite straightforward. You understand. So this is one of the major hindrances for us. One of the major hindrances is sensual desire. We care so much for our sensual feeling, care so much for this body, His body cannot suffer a bit. Hot cannot, cold cannot, everything cannot, Ask you to sleep and laze around, that one good, So this is the problem we have, So sensual desire is quite straightforward. We will not maybe, go too much, But this is all because the Buddha says, because we pamper this body through these 5 sense doors. Remember, we say, the eyes, the ear, the nose, the mouth, and of course, this part is the body, We want to take care of the body too much. So this is sensual desire, and of course, it's very straightforward, So you can actually read up on your own and explain and expound these kind of things on your own to understand what is sensual desire, And these sensual desires actually can help you to understand the law of impermanence. You know that the heat that we talk about, if you cycle a bit, then you get used to that heat, So it is not permanent, correct? Even if it rains a little bit, if you have a raincoat, or you just take shelter a while, the rain will stop, So this kind of things you reflect, on that things are not permanent, You can reflect. There are many ways. The Buddha's teaching is so wide. Not only way, my way, your way, your way. No, whatever little things we do, I say is pariyati. No, we must put this to practice. So when we see the rain, it is also for a while. You won't be raining for 8 hours a day, right? So what we do is we just take shelter for a while, or we put on our raincoat and we continue our journey. It's temporary. We reach the office, maybe the hair is a bit wet. No problem. We dry the hair. So things like that, they're all impermanent. You can reflect on impermanence by all these things. Okay. So now we have actually talked about our sensual desires, Of course, it can be elaborated. I can take the whole morning to elaborate, but I think time will not allow me. So the second problem we have is sometimes we have ill will, The Buddha says sometimes it is about vyapada, This ill will is the one. Sometimes this ill will also is, they're all negative emotions. Remember, this ill will, all negative emotions, it has no benefit, It is these negative emotions, like what? Anger. Anger is one of the major negative emotions. It is destructive feeling. Anger is about destructive feelings, When we are angry, we destroy things we have built over the years. We forget, sometimes, because we are very angry, we can end our friendship with a very close friend. You're not careful. So anger is actually a negative emotion, very destructive. Remember, every time you want to get angry, you have the knowledge now, put it to practice. Okay, when we want to get angry, remember, this is negative emotions that is overtaking me. It is taking control of myself. And if I'm not careful, it will destroy my relationship with that so-and-so, or with many other things, or even destroy your future. So we must reflect, what is anger all about, correct? The anger is negative emotion. Also, we talk about animosity sometimes, irritation. These are less destructive than anger, of course, So we got resentment in us. So we must remember, these are all negative. I'm giving a list of negative emotions, like anger. I put this as number one, very destructive. And resentment, maybe aversion, maybe animosity, maybe irritation, maybe hostile, maybe grief. Another negative emotions, isn't it? You grieve, it doesn't bring any benefit. The Buddha has told us many times, I'm sure many of you are aware, grieving, lamentations, all doesn't help you, So fear, another one, correct? Fear are also negative, and it doesn't help you to build your character, makes you more timid in life, and also your hatred towards people. So all these negative emotions, the Buddha says you must overcome. When you have overcome this, then it brings you to the wise attention called the Yoniso Manasikara, seeing things as is. Then you will see things as is. When you have all these negative emotions under your control, you understand the other party better. You create a very happy emotions. Correct? You create a happy environment and a happy atmosphere. Is it when we control our negative emotions, the other party won't be happy with you also. We don't get angry with the other party. We don't have mistrust with the other party. We trust him. We're not hostile towards him. We don't fear him. We make him comfortable. You and him have created a beautiful atmosphere among the two of you. And that is self-happiness we talk about. Correct? We can achieve. Can we not achieve this? That's why we say we can succeed. We look at these small little things in life. We can succeed. Not stretching you. This is not stretching you, I'm sure. Correct? This is all about the simple practices that we can do in our life. And then again, sometimes the Buddha says, is love and topol. Correct? The Tina Midda. Tina Midda, the Buddha says also same Every time we are lazy ask you to do a bit, you say you overate like I told you earlier correct? I just makan, I cannot do, I'm hungry I cannot do. Correct? I drank too much water my stomach is very heavy, I cannot do. I'm thirsty, I cannot do. The weather is hot. No wait, we do later in the evening. The weather is hot. Correct? In the evening we say, the weather is too cold, it's going to rain. We don't do. Correct? So these are excuses again. These excuses, if we can realize, we can overcome. I give you a nice story I met. Recently, I was walking around the park. Without fail, evening I'll walk, morning I'll walk. People think we are crazy, walking home every day. So one day I saw this man. My neighbor, of course. Then I asked him, wow, he just came back from work. He's a mechanic somewhere. So he said, yeah, just came back from work. I said, wow, very hardworking. Makan already? He said, no, yeah, because he sweeps his floor every day. The road in front of his house, a lot of leaves will fall, a lot of trees, they all fall, and he sweeps every evening. So I asked him, Japa be, aboy lo? He said, belum lah. He said, not yet lah. Because if I've eaten, he says, then I become lazy. I won't want to sweep the floor, you know. Correct. He says, if I've eaten, I'm too full, then I don't want to sweep the floor. So I was reflecting to myself, correct. We know the situation, we but we succumb to it, you know, agree? Correct or not? We know we will be lazy after we makan. Why not we try to overcome the laziness after we makan? Why not we eat and we try? But no, many of us become very complacent. I makan already, I sure want to sleep a while. I sure want to sit a while. Correct or not? So we succumb ourselves to that situation. Why not we say, yes, I will eat first and I will do. Cannot. So we have that habit lah. Sometimes this habit lah, that we don't want to eat first. We eat first, become lazy lah. So these kind of things lah. So we don't want to eat already, I become lazy. So you see, so these kind of things, this is all part of sloth and torpor. We must get rid of all these ideas, and I'm sure you can be very progressive. And I see no reason why we cannot succeed. If you do this, you know, if you have to go and visit a neighbor who's not well, don't give the excuse that maybe she's sleeping lah. Maybe I just ate not nice to go lah. Don't give excuse like, if you know neighbor is not well, go and visit at that time itself. Correct. Don't wait for a very convenient time, but there is no convenient time than now. Correct. If you have to go, you go. You don't give excuses. Say I will go later lah. Maybe she's sleeping. Maybe she's doing. If you know a neighbor is not well, go. Correct. When the neighbor is no more around, you go for what? They say. All right. You say last rites. What last rites is there? The neighbor is gone already. No more last rites. Go and visit when the neighbor is well. Correct. That is what we cannot do also, you know. This is all because of part of a sloth and torpor, excuses only lah. And no more there, we take leave and go lah for the funeral lah. Correct. Take leave for the funeral can. Then we buy a nice black suit or maybe white shirt, or you know, to go lah. Last rites, but when the neighbor is around, that is the point you should go. Correct. That makes her happier. So remove all these excuses in life, you know. Then we can succeed. So I'm sure this again not stretching us too much. We can succeed by removing this kind of negative attitude. You know, we can succeed. And then also sometimes we have got doubts in the Buddha's teaching lah. There are times people have doubt. You know, sometimes we also feel, these things all better insurance lah. People pay, we also pay lah. Correct lah. Insurance lah, in case lah. So we don't have full faith, you know. We must remove that kind of doubt we have. That's what the Buddha says, restlessness and remorse. 𝓿𝓾𝓷𝓭𝓪𝔂. Correct? That we have got sometimes a little bit of doubt, you know. Don't forget, many of us have that doubt, you know. Many of us tell us now, sometimes even in our Thursday class, they will tell us, if people queue to give angpao, we also must queue lah. Who knows? But because we don't have, we have not built that strong confidence in the Buddha. You know, if we think it's wrong to give, don't give. Correct or not? Everybody wants to give. When you have a dana going on, now you remember, you know, everybody wants to bring food for the monk. Senior monk coming, you know. So everybody wants to bring food to the monk lah. Correct? How much can that monk eat? Correct? But we all want to bring lah, and a table full of food, you know. Correct? And the monk will humbly take a meal on the alms bowl, a little bit of food, enough for himself. Correct? But we follow the crowd now. Everybody brings, we bring lah. Correct? But we never thought about what about tomorrow? Will the monk be eating tomorrow or not? Correct? I once also invited one monk, a very wise monk also. Oh, Venerable, today is my birthday, Venerable. Come, Dana. So Venerable told me, yes, thank you, Bro Tan. So I only eat when it's your birthday lah. Other days we don't give him food, isn't it? Correct. So you see, we overlook at these small things lah. She said, yeah. So I only eat once a year lah. When your birthday, I eat lah. Correct. We forgot about him tomorrow. We forgot about him the after tomorrow. We didn't bother to find out whether it's a non-birthday, got food or not. Correct. We only look at him on the Dana day. Oh, monk got a lot of food to eat. You know, we forgot. You know, those days where nobody brings Dana there. What does he eat? Correct. So these kind of things lah. You know that we sometimes the herd mentality lah. I will call it herd mentality lah. Kita ikut sajalah, orang kasih kita kasih sajalah. not thinking about tomorrow whether the monk is eating or not. Today, all of us want to go. Who are bring all kind of food there? Who eats the biggest, the major share of the food eaten by us lah? That monk, the respected monk, will take an armful of food a bit and is happy. The rest of it, maybe 95% of it, all goes back to us, isn't it? Yeah, and we forgot about him tomorrow, we forgot, will he be eating tomorrow or not? We didn't ask him, who's giving him dana tomorrow? So these are the things. Sometimes we do it out of lack of confidence, we call it. Sometimes we follow the crowd. So this restlessness or agitation, and sometimes we do have doubts, sometimes. In short, this doubt is because we don't have full confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. In short, if we have full confidence, I don't think any of us should be worried too much about these rituals and rites. Correct? That today is Dana Day. Wow, today is Veron's birthday. All must bring food today. So this is a part of right rituals that we can get rid of. If we have full confidence in the Buddha, we will give dana on the day when the monk is not having proper dana. Correct. How many of us have investigated to tell us that on these days normally people are all busy, nobody comes to temple, That's the example. On Mondays, people don't go to temple. Why not I bring food on Monday, isn't it? But no, we choose to give on his birthday. We choose to give on our birthdays. Yeah, we choose to give on our anniversary. You see? But we have failed to analyze on which days you think the monks are not eating well, on which days the monks do not get food. We have failed in all this angle. Correct. So if we were to look into it carefully, have confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and we associate people with dignity and people who can restrain themselves, are very calm, we can talk to them on these things. They will tell you, yes, we reflect on this better. These are called people with noble friendship. These are noble friendship, Kalyana Mitta, whereby we sit down and we discuss things like that. Maybe we will realize that on certain days, less people go to temple, the monk get less food. That is important. Correct? And then so that we can talk suitably. We have got very good conversation going on. So these are the things that we can practice. Practice full confidence with the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. We associate with people who are good, who are dignified, who have got a lot of self-restraint, who are very calm. These are called the Kalyana Mittas, and we can have good discussion with them. Okay, so this will help you actually to reinforce your faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, makes you a wiser person, make sure you bring food to the monk when he needs, you make him happy. We can succeed again, right? No, we don't join in the crowd. Sometimes we just like to join in the crowd. And then last but not least, also, it is called skeptical doubt, right? So this skeptical doubt is the practice of mindfulness. If you are mindful, like what I've said all earlier, if you are mindful, you will remove this kind of skeptical doubt that we talk about. We remove those kind of things that we say insurance, we buy, better, people give, we give better. Then we remove all these kind of false, wrong practices, we call them rituals. All these rites and rituals can be removed when we are mindful. We are mindful of the teachings of the Buddha. That is about middle way. Then we can overcome a lot of hindrances in life, and we can create great atmosphere for everybody to be happy. And that should be our target today, right? And our target is that we have to make people happy and the place to be happy. And what is the advantage of this? Right now we have practiced this. Now we are putting this kind of things. We have put all these things that we spoke about. We know, we have put to practice. We achieve that. Okay, and this is another nice example. I spoke about 4 happiness and 4 Brahma Viharas. Today I must touch on 4 also. I didn't touch on any 4 yet. So we talk about 4 kinds of people. The Buddha says So let us be this. Choose which one we want to be. There are 4 kinds of people, the Buddha says. The 4 kinds of brightness first. There are 4 kinds of brightness. The Buddha says there are 4 kinds of brightness. Which 4? The Buddha says the brightness of the sun. Right? And the Buddha says, second brightness is the brightness of the moon. And the third brightness is the brightness of the lamp or the fire, right? And the fourth brightness is brightness of discernment. Okay, so these are the four types of brightness, and the four types of brightness, and the foremost, the Buddha says, is the brightness of discernment. Right? Now, these four kinds of brightness, I will now elaborate on these four kinds of people. It's called Tamo Tama Sutta. Okay, that is called darkness to darkness Sutta. There are four kinds of people again here. The Buddha says there are four kinds of people. One, Tamo Tama Parayana. That means people who move from darkness to darkness. Right? So the Buddha says, I see four types of people in this world. The first type is running from darkness towards darkness. Right? The second type, the Buddha says, is running from brightness towards darkness. That's called Jyoti Tamo Parayana. Jyoti Tamo Parayana. That is from brightness, he moves into darkness. Right? And the third kind of person, the Buddha says, will be Tamo Jyoti Parayana. That means from darkness, he moves to lightness, moves to brightness. Okay? From darkness to brightness, the third kind of people. And the fourth kind of people, the Buddha says, Jyoti Parayana. And I heard this statement when I was in Form 3, I think. And I do not know why this statement always was stuck to my mind. I always remember this. I was talking to my wife every time. I say, I remember Venerable Ananda Mangala mentioned this Jyoti Parayana in one of, we went to the cemetery, a great man called Jyoti. His name is Jyoti. But of course, Jyoti la, his name is Jyoti la, but it sounds like Jyoti la, So I remember the sermon was Jyoti Parayana. The man lives from brightness to brightness. But that man is a very dedicated Buddhist. So I remember the statement very well. I remember this stanza, Jyoti Parayana, since I was in Form 3, But I didn't know the meaning only. I only know what is a Jyoti Parayana, but I didn't know the meaning until today. Not today, of course. So now, the first kind of people who are running from darkness to darkness, who are these kind of people? These are the people who are actually, they are born in darkness, life of darkness, life of misery. One is suffering in different ways, physically, mentally, materially, because of problem in the family or society. There's no happiness at all. They live in this kind of darkness, no happiness. Right? Because of the past karma, of course. When you are born, you have no choice. Beyond that is your choice. Correct? And these people, yes, they don't choice, they're born in darkness. Yes, we agree. But they still continue to live in darkness. There's no happiness, and yet there is no trace of wisdom inside them. They can't think in that way. I'm poor. Hey, I'm living this misery. I must work to overcome this problem. They didn't. Correct? So this kind of person, they generate nothing but anger, hatred, and ill will. Why must I be born poor? Why must I be chachat? Why must I be like that? Why must I be handicapped? Correct? Why? And they live from darkness to darkness. Correct? There is no happiness, but they're generating nothing but anger, resentment, hatred, and ill will. So these are the people who are born in darkness and they move to darkness. Next life, they continue their darkness. That's what the Buddha says. Right. Now, the second kind of people, yes, there are second kind of people who are brightness to darkness. Yes, Jyoti Tamo Parayana. Yes, they are born in brightness, There is happiness around them, material wealth, good health, prestige. People who are very, very comfortable when they are born. I have a classmate like that, unfortunately, born in a very wealthy family, very reputable, and became a very good student, became fantastic, good life. Graduated with the first class honors and all things, but eventually became a drug addict. Right? And life ended that way. He died as a drug addict. So there are people like that, People who are born with good karma from the past. but they forgot. That's why we say ignorance. They forgot that they must continue this good karma, for this happiness of our future. They forgot. Happiness of others, they forgot. Happiness of the parents, they forgot. Correct? When we succeed, our parents are more happy than us, Many of us are parents here, we know. Correct? When we see our children successful in school, they go good place, we're very happy for them. And when they don't do well, we also sympathize with them. We also upeka also, right? We never scold them, we encourage them. That's why I say these four Brahma Viharas are quality of a mother. So these people who are born from brightness, they move to darkness, which is quite clear now. They enjoyed life so much. They didn't bother about what happens tomorrow. They're ungrateful to their parents. They don't care this, and then they continue from brightness. They move to darkness. This is the second kind of people, the Buddha says. And here is the third kind of people. Third kind of people who are actually moving from darkness to brightness. I've always said that our parents, people of my age, we know many of our parents are all actually migrants from China. There were darkness there, they moved on, they migrated to find a bit of light here, and they continue to work very hard to ensure that we children also enjoy the brightness and will not live through the darkness that they have seen. Right? But many of us also, we say that we are also born in darkness because our parents were struggling and we saw them struggling. Right? We are also born in darkness, but we work very hard in gratitude for them. In gratitude for them working so hard for our education, we work hard and make sure that we succeed in life. And that brings them happiness. Right? And then we are grateful to them. And now we are Buddhists. We do things in their name. We say that we always dedicate all these merits to them. And that is about happiness again. For happiness of our parents now, wherever they are still happy that they were children like us who are very happy. So we are the people, or they are the people who live from darkness to brightness. Right? And that we should be inspired by these people. Right? And many of this younger generation today, the younger generation, you are more lucky than us in that sense. You are born in brightness. And we ensure you move to brightness, correct? You did not have that hardship that we had. We had maybe last time we buy one durian, we share with 2 children or 3 children. Today you all can name each 1 durian, 2 durian each. So there's unlimited. You eat as much as you want, your heart's content. But we have gone through that stage where our father brought home 1 durian, we are all happy, and we buka, 1 person 1 ulas, also we are happy. But today they makan puas-puas lah. 1 durian not enough lah. You have to buy a whole sack of durian and you have a feast in the house. So today this is brightness, correct? So our children are enjoying that brightness today. But we as parents, again, we work very hard to ensure that they move from brightness to brightness, correct? From happiness to happiness. We make sure they studied well, we guided them well in life. And then today we find them very successful in their own way. We are very happy for them, but they are successful in their very own way. I will stress that, own way. Not because maybe academically successful or what, but they are filial children. And that is what we call success. And that is our success. And that is their success, their future success, because they are filial children. So that's how we create that atmosphere from brightness to brightness. We remind them of this kind of conditions. We tell them that they should be peace. And we are very happy today. And I'm sure all of us here who are listeners, all the listeners here are very happy that your children are very successful in their own way, and they are filial children. And that is our effort again. We work so hard to move them from brightness to brightness. And in the same context, in that same thing, we are also moving from brightness to brightness because we have trained them to be people. So we choose what we want to be today, right? To continue this brightness, happiness, we say that we can succeed. Choose what you want to be, right? From brightness to darkness, or from brightness to brightness. That is our choice. Okay. So with that, I think I thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. And we have if we have another opportunity, we'll continue to stick on the subject of happiness slowly and try to understand. Thank you very much again. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bro Leng Huat, for today's happiness sharing. Now, we have spent some wholesome time participating in today's puja and listening to Bro Leng Huat's Dhamma sharing. Now with that, we have accrued abundance of merits. Now let's dedicate those merits to all beings, to all our departed relatives, wherever they are. May they share all the merits. Akasata ca bummata devanaga mahitika punyang tam anumoditva chiram rakantu loka sasanang ettavata ca amhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabbe bhuta sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. And aspirations. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yavani bana patiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you everyone for watching. For other videos, please visit the links below. Bye bye for now.